Do the paranormal really exist? Is it too unreal to say everything is a coincidence? How many of you have actually had a real paranormal encounter? It is said up to 35% of the Americans believe in the paranormal or a higher power. My name is Aiden Garvin, and my crew decided to figure that out ourselves by testing multiple rules you shouldn't break. But before we begin, would you ever play with a Ouija board in a cemetery?
I believe that some doors shouldn't be open.
Most of the people in our crew are skeptics who do not believe in the paranormal. We conducted an interview with Joel Russell, who has been doing tarot card readings and seances for 15 years, and he's been doing professionally for the last 3 years.
My name is Joel Russell, and I guess my title would be medium/psychic. I have been reading tarot cards for a while now, about 15 years. Only a few years professionally, though, so I guess if I had to pick a title, it would be that.
Do you believe in the supernatural properties of the Ouija board?
Absolutely. I do believe in the supernatural properties of a Ouija board. Plus, I feel like anytime you have that intention to connect with somebody that's passed on, it's going to happen. There's some bad things that can happen, but you have to do it with the right intention because the spirits will know whether or not you are. So,
What do you think is going to happen when we do it?
I think it's going to be a good experience, and definitely, I feel like Nashville, they always say it's so haunted, and I definitely feel that. A lot of musicians that have came through here and are still coming through here with all those stories, and it can be all over the map, but usually something happens when I do it.
Our crew went to Printer's Alley to conduct interviews with people and their beliefs on the spiritual, home to the largest newspaper print in the 1800s.
What's your name?
Chris.
John Christensen.
Clark Sexton.
Have you ever sensed a ghost ever being in the room with you, or thought something was off before that would be ghostly?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a ghost. Like, I sense like an evil entity.
I believe in the spiritual realm, yeah.
To what degree?
I think that there's more than just the physical, tangible human presence going on. I think that there's something behind that, like, dimension, if that makes sense.
Do you believe in any type of higher power?
I'm a Christian, so, believe in God, I guess.
So you do believe in, like, afterlife and all that?
Sure.
I do, yeah, for sure. I believe there's a God, for sure. I don't think it's an old man in the sky sitting there judging us if we have premarital sex, but I think that there's a higher power, for sure, that is in control, but also allows us a free will and a choice.
Have you ever had your fortune told before?
I have not.
No fortune cookie, nothing?
Well, I've had fortune cookies, but never like sat down and had a fortune teller read my future or anything like that.
Nope.
No fortune cookie?
No. Well, okay, fortune cookies, yeah, absolutely. So yes.
What do you think about Ouija boards?
Ouija boards. Man, it's been a minute since I played a Ouija board. I mean, there's usually someone like moving it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever, had a Ouija board experience where I didn't know someone was moving the little piece of plastic, so.
What do you think about us going to a cemetery to use a Ouija board?
I don't know, maybe that might help.
I mean, I don't mind that, like, as long as you guys are safe, like, I wouldn't want anything to happen. I don't know that anything would happen, but I wouldn't want anything to happen to you.
I think that's asking for, yeah, even if I'm not so sure that there's something there, if there is something there, that's the surefire way, from my opinion, to mess with something that you don't want to kind of open a can of worms, as they say.
So you wouldn't think it's safe?
Nah, I wouldn't, and I've actually been presented the opportunity to use a Ouija board, and several times, and I've always turned it down. That's always something that I just feel like I have no business and no part doing. And I think that it's like, if I'm gonna, I as a musician can channel energy. I know that. I mean, that's what I do every day. I channel a musical energy that is greater than me. That could be God. You know what I mean? And I think that if I can be a vessel for any kind of energy, I don't want to invite anything that's not safe and anything dark. You know what I mean?
Would you say that you've had a lot of successful contacts with seances?
I like to think so, although sometimes I do keep in close contact with all of my clients. I have had some pretty successful contact. It's not like I'm seeing you right now. It's just like I hear and I feel the person, kind of almost like somebody standing behind you, and then, nobody's there. It's kind of like that, like you feel them. It just helps you connect with people, just like it helps if you're talking to somebody in person versus like online or on Facebook or Zoom. You always connect a little bit better when you're there in person. for a few seconds, just a little bit of silence. All right, and something I will do first is put our hands on the planchette, at least one hand, and move it around to each letter, kind of slowly but quickly too, so that we don't keep them waiting for forever. Go ahead and put it in the center there. Any spirits that are here, we ask that you come forth and talk to us. Okay, so we got a G. Are your initials GH? Is that who's talking to us? A lot of the times from the history that I've read, when people were registering other people as slaves, which just sounds crazy that ever even happened, they would give them a name or give them like initials so that they could have it like official. And that might have been a person that was enslaved on this land. It might have been their initials.
What do you think is going to happen when we do it?
I think it might not be scary to me, but it might be scary to the other people in the room. Like, nothing will probably start flying off the walls or anything. Usually it's just like, okay, who wants to talk? And then they talk, and then the board moves. Or sometimes I don't even need the board. Like, I have my hands on it. I feel like they see me there sitting at it, and they're like, okay, he's ready. They were just kind of like passing through, like you would see a random person like at a grocery store, a living person. You just be like, oh, hey, and that's it. That's the only interaction you may ever have.
Other than the lights flickering after the first Ouija board seance, our crew did not really pick anything up.
Would you ever play with a Ouija board in a cemetery like we're planning on doing?
Oh, absolutely. Of course, you would have to be careful and respectful to the dead there, because I didn't take a Ouija board into a cemetery before, but I tried to do kind of reading on my own, just walking around, seeing if I could pick up anything, and I did. Definitely something I like to do, but very cautious about.
Nashville City Cemetery, the oldest cemetery in Nashville, is where we took the Ouija board to experiment.
Hello, we're at the Nashville City Cemetery, and it's home to some of the oldest graves in the city of Nashville. And this right here is the oldest grave in the whole graveyard. So we are about to get close and ask permission, see if we can get a little closer and catch anything on footage, but we think it's bullshit. Are you feeling anything, Zach?
Not a damn thing.
Neither am I. But I'm not feeling uninvited.
Fair point, yeah.
So I suppose we can move closer. We'll circle the board 3 times. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we are calling out to anyone that wants to talk or wants to speak, whether it's Lucy, Steele here, or anyone else. If anyone is out there or anyone wants to communicate, say something. Now's your chance. Feeling a chill, but we are outside.
Yeah. Feeling a chill from
The wind.
temperature.
Yeah.
Probably.
But again, I'm not feeling anything saying no. Hello? We're reaching out to Smith Clark or any spirit that would like to talk or has something to say. We're looking for proof that anything's out there, that anything exists at all. Just give us a sign.
The night we took the Ouija board to the cemetery, the consensus is that most of our beliefs have not changed. So our conclusion, did this investigation change how we feel about the paranormal? I'd say it did not.
How can people contact you?
They can contact me a variety of ways. I am Artful Conjure on Facebook. It is my picture taken at Aroma G's, one of the shops around town. I do guest reads there sometimes, and I also guest read at Rocio's in Antioch. I'm working on getting to some other places, but mainly you can contact me on Facebook, like my page, message me, or you can email me at spiritualcounselingbyjoel@gmail.com.